boys and girls, and welcome to lessons 6 and 7, drawing and shading a pumpkin. Last week we learned how to draw a pumpkin during our Zoom, but if you missed it, my instructions are pretty simple. All right, you're going to need a pencil, a light and a dark marker, a piece of paper, and some water. But first we're just going to draw with pencil. Using 2 dots, I place them in the center vertically, and then I lightly draw my oval for my first section of my pumpkin. For the second step, I put 2 more dots, this time on one side, off to the side of my oval, and then I make a curved line instead of a whole oval. I do the same thing on the other side for the next 2 sections. Keep repeating these steps until you get a pumpkin that's your desired size, or that you fill up most of the paper. I could turn my pumpkin either direction, but I think I like it like this. Now I'm going to add a stem with a curved line, an oval at one end, and another curved line. Add a couple lines of texture and you're done. All right, now let's talk about where the light is coming from on this pumpkin. You'll see on the sides and the bottom that there's shadows, and on one side it's a lot brighter. You might even see some shiny reflection spots. The lines in between each pumpkin are a little bit darker, and especially around the stem, there's also some shadows. So now we're going to talk about shading with cross-hatching. Cross-hatching is just a way that artists use parallel lines to create value. You can see the closer they get together, or the more lines, the darker the value. You can see here how an artist used cross-hatching to even shade a round object. We are going to shade our pumpkin with cross-hatching. All right, let's get started. You only need 2 colors, a light and a dark. That neon yellow, it doesn't work so good for marker painting, and that's what we're doing. So we want to find colors that work. You can put any 2 colors that are next door to each other on the color wheel, or you could use like pink and red, or pink and orange, or yellow and orange, any 2 colors that are next door to each other. Or you could do a light and a dark of the same color. You can use whatever colors you want, as long as they are one light and one dark. I'm going to use red as my dark color, and I'm going to outline one side of each section. In this case, we're trying to pretend like the light is coming from the right-hand side. So on the left side of each section, I'm going to put a shadow. I'm going to use a thick side of my marker on the left-hand side, and I'm going to outline the bottom as well. When you add your hatching marks, make sure that in the lightest areas you add just a little bit with your lines spaced apart. The further away you get from that side of the pumpkin, the closer together your lines should be, and the more lines you should add. Using your lighter color, you are going to outline the opposite side and add hatching on the opposite side. This color should be lighter than your other color, but again, my lines are far apart where it's supposed to be lightest, and then they get closer together the further away from that left-hand side that I get. Don't forget to add some cross-hatching to your stem as well. When I marker paint, I use just a little bit of water, and I do my light colors first. I touch and get a little bit more water in certain areas if it gets dry, but I make sure I avoid the dark areas until I'm ready to blend my colors. Once my light areas are all done, I can wash my brush and then wiggle my brush into the darker color and drag it and kind of mix it in. Otherwise, it's going to look like a stripe. So I take my brush, I dip, push, wipe the tip, get rid of the extra color if I need to, and then see how I'm kind of wiggling it side to side and touching up any white spots that I missed. After you paint your stem, that's it, unless you feel like you want to add some more, either the ground or a vine. It's up to you. But I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Don't forget to snap a picture and hit submit on Canvas. Can't wait to see it.